President Donald Trump says he will announce his Supreme Court pick in a primetime address tomorrow night. The president originally said he would make the announcement later this week, but this morning he tweeted, quote, "I have made my decision on who I will nominate for the United States Supreme Court. It will be announced live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. CBS News chief legal correspondent Jan Crawford joins us now from Washington. So, Jan, why did the president decide to push up the time of the announcement? Could it be that he's trying to turn attention away from this weekend's actions?
Well, I mean, that's, I think some people may think that sounds like a good conspiracy theory, but no. I mean, we started picking up signals last week that this was going to be either Monday or Tuesday. Senate staffers were told to be ready for an announcement as soon as Monday, as were the outside groups. And remember, the president had always said he wanted to do it around this time frame. So I think he's just decided on who he's going to pick, and they're moving it up. There's some things on the schedule on Thursday that they also may not want it to conflict with. And so that's why I think we're seeing this now, primetime address on Tuesday night. But we started picking up signals that this was in the works before the weekend.
And Jan, we've been talking since last week about who potentially President Trump would nominate to the Supreme Court. Any indication now, as we await his announcement, on who it will be?
Well, I think the focus remains, as we reported week before last, on a Colorado-based federal appeals court judge, Neil Gorsuch. He is kind of a nominee who would be like right out of central casting if you were looking for someone who looked like a Supreme Court justice. I mean, he's got this glittering academic background, Columbia, Harvard, Yale, Oxford. He's served on a federal appeals court. I mean, he almost looks patrician, with his distinguished gray hair, and apparently he's had gray hair for a long time. And he has a lot of support among conservatives who see him as a worthy successor to that kind of conservative intellectual giant, Antonin Scalia. But sources tell me that while he was the front runner, there was another possible scenario in the works that would have seen Trump nominate a Pennsylvania-based federal appeals court judge, Thomas Hardiman. And he's kind of the opposite in terms of personal story than Neil Gorsuch. Thomas Hardiman is a blue-collar hero, the first person in his family to go to college. He went to Notre Dame for undergrad, drove a taxi to put himself through Georgetown Law School, and then has had a distinguished career on the bench. So he had emerged as kind of the second in a very short list of two. That decision, again, very much up in the air. And even though it may now, I think, be looking like it could be Gorsuch, anyone who wants to predict what President Trump is going to do tomorrow night, good luck.
Yeah, that's for certainly true. Jan, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer has said in the past that Senate Democrats would not make it easy for President Trump's SCOTUS pick to go through. But we understand the president's team has come up with a strategy to make sure that this pick is confirmed to the court. What are you hearing?
Well, I mean, we've seen Mitch McConnell say this nominee will be confirmed flatly, which means that they would have to trigger what people here in Washington, it sounds kind of funny, call the nuclear option, which means they would have to vote to do away with the filibuster. Democrats, of course, could block this nomination and require Republicans to come up with 60 votes, and I think that would be very difficult in this climate. Now, remember, Democrats triggered that nuclear option and did away with the filibuster for all of the other potential cabinet level and lower court federal judicial nominees. So Republicans would kind of be doing the final pull of the trigger of it. And I think they are prepared to do that, and they're prepared to do it for Neil Gorsuch. I think it's an interesting political fight because Hardiman, with that blue-collar story, where he comes from, would be he's like a charming, if you watch him speak, he's a charming, mild-mannered, he almost looks like, great personal story. Democrats would have a hard time blocking him. I think if I were a Democrat and wanting a fight, I would want Neil Gorsuch.
All right, Jan Crawford for us in Washington. Jan, thanks. And don't forget, keep it right here for that announcement. We'll have live, complete coverage. That is tomorrow, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, again, right here on CBSN.